What's up, everyone? Dem Boys back at it. Thrilled to be bringing y'all part 1 of the West Coast Tour. We're going to start this with Joke's entire 2-wide offense. So this video, I'll show you all the plays you need to set up. If you want to know how he got the lineman at receiver, which will play part into this video, you can check out my prior video on that. We're going to end up getting some Adreni's I-form clothes, and then I'll put in some of my stuff, some of my strong clothes stuff that I've used for a while, and really just mash up a whole bunch of different offenses that we've seen guys run throughout MCS and stuff that I've come up with into one scheme for y'all, alright? So without further ado, let's get into setting up the plays and what plays you'll want to set into your Audibles. Alright, so these are the running plays that we're going to install into our Audibles to start this scheme. First, single back wing flex close. You'll go ahead and get the dive in there, and you're going to add stretch in. So you're going to have dive and stretch mixed into those Audibles. Coming into I-form for I-form close, well, if you want to have all the offensive linemen in, this would be one of the formations that he was able to drop in because the T split in. Then what you would do is you would go ahead and make sure that stretch is in. Stretch and leave dive are going to be the two plays you're on. Come over into, let's see here, we got close slot as well. We don't want to forget that. That's another one that you can go ahead and tee flanker, so you can drop in this one. Blast would be something I would recommend. I don't really see him run much of it. He did run a little bit of stretch though, so we'll go ahead and add in stretch as well. Then we get into our strong close. He ran dive. I prefer zone weak, but to run it he only ran this dive once, really. He didn't run it much, say that. Outside zone, though, was a money play for him. This is really the play that beat Voltrax. So you'll add in outside zone there. And weak, we don't need to add or change anything, but that is going to be another T flanker. And this is the position that he most commonly dropped in. So, what he would do is he would come in and dive. Typically, you'd see guys run dive flipped. He would run it either way. Against Bugs, he just shoved this down his throat over and over again. Proved me wrong, so he'd kind of start there. But typically, if he just wanted to flat out run it, he would flip it and run it like so. Another reason, though, that he may not do that, this is the only run play in this formation, so another reason he might have it this way, is if he's on the if the short side of the field is to the left, because one of the things that he'll drop into from here is I close, and he'll use the I form close stretch. And if he wants to run that to the wide side of the field, he'd flip it, and now you're changing it. Looks, people see that, they think, oh, he's going to go ahead and run left. All of a sudden you come out in this and you're running right. So that was one of the little kind of tricks he utilized. The most common thing that I saw him really drop into from here, though, was actually this I-form close lead dive. And he had a little different way of running this. What he would do is he would take this strong side wide receiver, and he would go ahead and motion him back weak side, because it's a weak side run, right? And motion snap him there. Try to get that extra blocking over that way. So really now, how he went after Volt, if you want to run with the 5 wide, you always have to start somewhere else and then drop into strong close. But within strong close, what he'd do is he would come out, like so, and then he would hit this outside zone. Now, when he runs outside zone, he would always motion the fullback out and spam hike right away. So it would look like this. And then he would just try to go on and hit a lane down there and take off. Obviously, that was where he housed that. He ran that twice against Volt and housed him. So that was a good one for him. I did see him, again, rarely, but I did see him go ahead and come down into dive. Really not a huge fan. He would motion this guy in, kind of try to snap it like that. Now, to me, if you're going to do that, you might as well do it this way. This is how I've always done it. I've been a guy who's run a lot of strong close. Is I run the zone weak because ultimately that's the little hole you're trying to hit anyways. So to me, it's just a lot easier to do it that way. And you just get a lot cleaner setup a lot of the time. For me, that is a money play for me. That's a money formation for me between those two plays. You know, especially they see it and they start thinking, oh, that outside zone's coming. All of a sudden you're motioning in and wham, hitting them quick. So another really very effective formation that he did use to win him a game along the way. Another thing we would have here, and this is something he didn't use a ton, is this I-form closed slot. He would come in and run this stretch. But you're going to do those, you're really always, unless they're in man coverage, there's nobody over there, you see a reason, you know, you're going to go ahead and run this back receiver side. And if your fullback doesn't just molest the back end of your left tackle, you get yourself a pretty good game pretty easily. One last thing, I didn't really see him run this, but this to me is so similar to this particular play, is this HB Blast. And I really do like the way the blocking sets up on that. So that's, again, just kind of a little something that I run. I actually run that for the slot, this I slot. I run this a lot more than he did. This is actually one of my more often used formations. But I really can't stress enough how effective those two runs can be for something that wasn't a big part of his scheme, but is something you can add in. So guys, next let's go ahead and get into the championship game and the offense that won him the belt. Alright, so last but not least, this is going to be, well, the evolution of and then what ended up, you know, winning him the belt. So when folks were playing the two safeties over, what people came to realize is if you slid him across, two guys would follow, creating an obvious issue, right, with numbers. Just kind of breaking down the defense in general. So that's where we saw in this tournament and in this game, we saw the cover one contain. So folks come out with the cover one contain, you know, baseline press, and spy the two safeties, and now you're playing here. So this was going to be, you know, an answer that D. Croft wanted to use. So what you had happen is he would just go ahead and slide, Joke would slide this outside tight end across the formation and snap it at various points. So, you know, he waited till he got right about here and snapped it. Did that about 3 times. He... and this is like these counts are from while the game was in question, after the game was over, whatever. He did just the quick snap here, like so, a couple of times, 2 times. Heck, there were times he just got right on the end here and just pushed forward and just went like that. That was a common theme, guys. As a lot of the time when he was motioning him, he would motion and he would get over here. And he's just going to press up and out and make sure he seals that edge strong so that shed doesn't happen, or he doesn't blow the block and go upfield and hit the safety, just to keep his backside protected. He did even at one point, so I'll show you, again, the setup, cover one contain, baseline, press. So once you've now gone ahead and base aligned, nobody's going to follow him. So now you can create a numbers advantage, right? So you go out and, say ID this guy here, and then, fire out there and take her on that corner, whatever gap's open. So when Decoff came out in the pinch defense, he was using the pinch dog to press. This is the defense I gave y'all to stop the near close flex stuff. Also, my last blitz is out of this. I'll do an entire scheme, because right now this look is my entire defense, really. So what he did is he base aligned press, pinch the linebackers, bring the pass rush in, contain, and he would have a spy on both safeties. User, you can go ahead and man up the running back and go stand there like so. So this was what Decroft's answer was. So what happened is Joke would flip the play. He would flip the run itself. then he was going to go ahead and double team this user here. He would motion the receiver across. Now he was actually staying on that receiver and pushing forward and trying to help him to shoot forward and get a clean block. And however the blocking exactly is going to set up, y'all saw how it's set up in the game. That's what it kind of looked like there. Typically in the game, the guard was coming and actually hitting that safety in game. Is how it looked. But anyways, guys, like, comment. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe on the road to 1,000. Appreciate the support. Head on over to Facebook. Check out Madden Genius. That's the group. That's the community. I got any questions? It's just a community of people helping people. And also hit that bell. Be on the lookout. This scheme is going to get filled in. All right. We're going to continue to go through all this 2-wide West Coast stuff we saw in the tournament. And I'm going to give y'all my scheme as well. And we can mesh that all up together. And y'all can have a real robust, complete, phenomenal 2-wide West Coast scheme. Dem boys. Peace.